It's time to bring back Overreaction Monday. Time to overreact. Some of the things happening with the Eagles, the NFL, hell, even the Sixers. I love overreacting. I think today is a perfect day as we get out of the bye week to start overreacting to our 8-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Trending in the AM with right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We're live with your thoughts and opinions in 30 seconds.
Fourth and goal.
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We're live, Facebook, YouTube, you know the drill. Make sure you hit those like, share, and subscribe and follow buttons. I'd greatly appreciate it. It is free to do. It does not cost you a penny to hit those buttons. Like, share, subscribe. Would greatly appreciate it. I am your host, Phil Stiefel. Find me on all social media platforms at Beard and Knowledge, Twitter, IG, TikTok, wherever you want to find me. You could find me there, all with different levels of, posting, but it is what it is. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I hope everybody had a great bye-week weekend where they could stress about the Philadelphia Eagles a little bit less. But now we're out of the bye. Now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. It's time to get down to the second half of the season. We've got the Sixers. Now, what, 8 wins in a row? Damn. You got to love seeing that. I think today's a perfect day to let the overreactions flow. After watching a lot of meaningless football this weekend, so much I'm realizing about this NFL that I feel comfortable overreacting massively to our Eagles and their chances this year. I feel comfortable overreacting to my Sixers after what I've witnessed in the last 3 or 4 games. What is up, Zach? How you doing this morning? Can't believe the Eagles didn't win this week. Shit, I know. Seriously, what is wrong with them? Sell the farm, fire Howie, fire Sirianni, relocate the team to Anchorage. Well, you'd like that. Done with this team. Exactly. We're going to talk overreactions all day, and we're going to talk a lot about what else went on in the NFL this weekend because, it kind of sucks on a side note. We have our bye week, and we come out of the bye, and we've got to wait till Monday night next week for another football game. It's kind of a big, that sucks kind of moment there. Got a lot of waiting to do. So there's going to be, it's going to be partially like another bye week this week, content-wise. But, man, all everybody's going to talk about today is how those Dallas Cowboys whooped up on the New York Giants, and they're back, baby. That's all anybody's going to want to talk about. Not the fact that the Eagles are 8-1. Not that there's 19 teams that are between 4 and 6 wins in the NFL. And they're not going to give the Eagles credit for having 8 wins at this point of the season, but they're going to give those Dallas Cowboys, massive credit for whooping up on Tommy DeVito. Who? Tommy DeVito. And you know what? More power to Tommy DeVito. He was out there yesterday with no offensive line, no wide receivers, no football experience whatsoever. Yet, people are going to overreact to that one big time. Flyers beat the Ducks and Kings back-to-back Friday and Saturday. I saw parts of the beginning of the Kings game. I missed the Ducks one, HC. Hell, let's overreact to the Flyers this morning. We can overreact to anything in Philadelphia sports right now because, hey, we got the Union. We got the date. I think it's like 2 weeks away to the Eastern Conference semifinals match for the Union. Overreact to whatever you want today. We're bringing back Overreaction Monday. I didn't put it in the title. I didn't really put it in the hashtags, but we are. We got it. Dallas has Super Bowl thoughts after beating the Giants. Dude, it's ridiculous. Like, literally, as that game was coming to an end and as the game ended, all you see, the thing I just saw this morning, Sports Center, sharing a graphic of how they beat up on the Giants twice this year. Who cares? The Giants stink. Even without Tommy DeVito, even if you put Daniel Jones out there, the Giants stink. But yet the Cowboys won the Super Bowl yesterday by winning 40-something to I don't even know what the final score ended up being. I got to look it up because I think they gave up a late touchdown. Yeah, 49-17. Whoa, good for you. Seriously, Stanley Cup, here we come. The parade. I mean, it's not gonna happen. But could you imagine what this city would be like if the Flyers won the next championship in this city? Not the Sixers, who are 8 in a row, and Tyrese Maxey is playing amazing basketball. Not the Eagles getting back to 2 Super Bowls but not winning one. Not the Phillies and their payroll. But just imagine if the Flyers, of all teams, won the next championship, whether it be this year or down the line. That would be pretty wild that would happen. Would LaMelo Ball be picked first before Tyrese Maxey? Absolutely not. That Tyrese Maxey, man, there's something special about that kid. I don't know if you saw the clip of him. He made one of his threes, and he stepped as he's dropping back on the defense. You can read his lips saying, "Damn, God, I'm good." And I love the swagger from him. And I will say, I'm all about crushing James Harden, especially the 0-4 Clippers with James Harden. And now lost James Harden looks in LA. The system looks lost out there. But James Harden did help Tyrese Maxey a little bit. He did help build up Tyrese Maxey's confidence level a little bit here in his time. So there was one good thing that came out of it. Feel for Tommy DeVito. Guy's been thrown in at the deep end with no help at all. Dude, he's been thrown in the deep end with no life preserver. The kid can't swim. I feel bad for him. I put it out there, and I got crushed on social media about this. I said, "Is Brian Dabble on the hot seat?" And I didn't watch the entirety of the game because I had the Sixers game on as well. But the parts of the game that I watched, I saw the body language of Brian Dabble. He looks like he cares two craps about being on that sideline for the New York Giants. Like he's totally already checked out on that team. And everyone's like, "Oh, well, he won Coach of the Year last year," and blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, NFL is not for long. If there's other coaches, if Doug Peterson could be fired one season after, you know, his run that he had here in Philly after one bad season, anybody could be fired. And Brian Dabble, man, throwing Tommy DeVito in there like that with the game plan that they had, this great offensive play caller couldn't get. Brian Dabble's on the hot seat, in my opinion. Exactly, exactly. Maxey had more points than the Cowboys this week, and love it, love it, love it, love it. Seen one certain Cowboys creator asking if Dak should be an MVP consideration now. Dude, I knew it, man. As soon as that game started getting out of hand, Cowboys fans were going to be coming out of the woodwork, man. We're back, baby. We are the best. We're winning the Super Bowl. But no. What a time to be a Philly fan. I love it. What a time to be a part of the Trending in the AM fam right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. Hit that like button. Hit that share and subscribe button. Let's go. Great time to be alive right now. Thanks, Harden, for helping Maxey, and also thanks for walking away at the right time. Walking right at the right time, and we got 4 great bench pieces for James Harden along with the picks. And thank God we did. Because, man, if you guys didn't see the news about Kelly Oubre this weekend, Saturday night, he was a pedestrian walking down the street in Philly, and he got hit by a car. Who knows how long he's going to be out for? Broken ribs, torn up bone, bruises and cuts. The fact that he walked away from that, but the fact that the Sixers are now deep enough where they can lose one of their leading scorers and not miss a beat, man. Shout out to Kelly Oubre, man. That's got to be one scary. That's got to be one of the scariest things in the world. Just see a car coming out of control, and there's nothing you can do about it, and then get hit by the car. Man, damn shame, damn scary, man. Value alert, dude. It's not value when I go live at the time I'm scheduled to go live. Value is when I go live 15 minutes early. I got 0 notifications. Well, that's on you. I can't set your computer up, man, chatter for you. But yeah, overreaction Monday in full effect already. And back to these things, man. Yeah, I love this comment here. I love it. Dak MVP, Dallas Super Bowl. I feel for the Giants, and I feel for what happened with Tommy DeVito. But man, Dallas has got to be like, why do we give up 17 points to this team? Dallas should be disappointed in themselves the way they play. I mean, what did they expect? If anything, I would have been upset that that McCarthy left Dak in there so long. I'd be upset that that the Giants were still trying to run plays at the end of the football game. But you just look across the entirety of the NFL right now, and as I said, 19 teams have between 4 and 6 wins. You look across it, the Steelers got 6 wins. The Vikings winning now with Dobbs. The Bengals, after winning all those games, back to losing at home to the Texans. And shout out to CJ Stroud. But CJ Stroud, you're not an MVP. People are talking about MVP and CJ Stroud. I saw one Dallas Cowboys, creator saying I would take CJ Stroud over Jalen Hurts. Come on, get that crap out of here. But I mean, you look across the NFL, the 49ers beat the Jaguars or win 4 in a row, then get smoked at home by the 49ers. The Browns beat the Ravens at the last second. The Cardinals won over the Falcons. The Lions beat the Chargers, of course, because Justin Herbert is mediocre. But there's only one team that is separating themselves from the pack in the NFL, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. But you'll not hear anybody talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. I guarantee it this week. If Gertz isn't in a consideration, Dak can't be. Yeah. Listen, how refreshed Phil is after a bye week. I was refreshed last week. I had a good weekend. I had a couple days off for the first time in ages. Went to the Pickle Festival in Baltimore, the world's biggest pickle party. Actually, it was kind of fun. Had a lot of fun there. Did lots of pickle shots. Um, Watched a little bit of football yesterday. Cooked a really nice pot roast. It was a good day yesterday. Refreshing day. The Giants basically wasted away Barkley's career, and the Cowboys are nearing the end of their Super Bowl window. Let's go. First off, agree with the first half. They are wasting Saquon Barkley's career for sure. Saquon Barkley is going to pull a Barry Sanders or a Megatron and retire early from football. The Raiders are wasting Josh Jacobs as well, Peanut. But there was never a window for the Cowboys to win a Super Bowl, not with this current incarnation of a team. But you're going to hear all about the Cowboys in the Super Bowl today. I bet you ESPN this week has graphics up on the screen and puts them ahead of the Eagles' chances to win the Super Bowl just because they put up 49 against those New York Football Giants. Hurts. Oh, if Hurts wasn't in a consideration, Dak, I got you. I wasn't sure what you're saying there for a second. Wait, the Penguin was playing quarterback for the Giants. Yeah, basically. Is there any relation between Danny DeVito and Tommy DeVito? Too coincidental, for sure. The court floors were terrible. Oh my God, man, Chatter. The in-season tournament of the NBA and their courts. My God, if you watched any of that Detroit Pistons game versus the Sixers on Saturday or Friday night, was it? I think it was Friday night or Saturday, whatever it was. And if you didn't have a headache from watching that basketball game, that court was atrocious. And from what I've seen, the Sixers one isn't going to be much better this week. The Bills scheduled too hard. They're done. Well, the Bills got who tonight? They got a winnable game. Denver tonight. Monday Night Football. Denver's starting to turn it around a little bit, but I would hope to assume the Bills should be able to win that game. We'll find out. Stroud just beat the Bengals. I know. Does that make the Bengals? So I put out a question yesterday on Twitter during the one at the end of the 1:00 games about who are the biggest frauds in the NFL right now. And I put the Bengals in that. The Bengals are frauds. The 49ers, maybe not frauds like we thought. The Jaguars, frauds. What are the Ravens? We were putting the Ravens in the Super Bowl last week. And then they go out there and lose to the Browns. The averageness in the NFL right now. It's shocking. It really is. It's a good build up for Dallas until they have to play a contender. Eagles will play better next week. Look, the Eagles have a tough game on Monday night against the Chiefs next week. There ain't no doubt about it. There's a chance that the Eagles lose. There is. The 7-2 Chiefs versus the 8-1 Eagles. Super Bowl rematch. There's a lot that can go on in that game. But the fact that the Eagles will get no attention this week because the Cowboys beat the Giants. Ooh! God damn. It's going to be nauseating. The season tourney courts are an epileptic's worst nightmare. I don't have epilepsy, and I think I do now after watching that game on Friday night against Detroit. Like, seriously, that was atrocious. I mean, I don't know what I was looking at, Marshawn. It was awful. We will be 9-1. Who? The Eagles after they play Kansas City, or the Sixers after they play on Tuesday night? You know, that 9-1. It's who can get to 10 wins first, the Sixers or the Eagles? That's going to be the question. See, Devin, there's a little dual purpose to that comment there. Phil would go to an all pickle party. I'll see myself out. Look, the pickle party was in Baltimore, something like it was kind of like an Xfinity Live meets Disney Springs kind of location, the power plant area or something like that. Dude, there were a lot of people there for it. It was supposed to happen in September. It got rained out, so it was a little cold on Saturday for it, but it was a lot of fun. It plays well for us that they keep doubting us. Remember, hungry dogs run faster. I get that, but at some point you got to realize there's disrespect in it as well. Um, Junito, let's see, Junito. Trying to say that right there. No Bills, no Eagles, no thank you. I watched a little bit of all the games outside of when the Sixers were on. How about them Cowboys? We them boys, yeah, them boys. That's reserved for just the Briscoes, them boys. It's crazy how no matter how good the Birds are, it doesn't matter that they're on top of the league. Everyone always underrates HC. It's crazy. What have the Eagles done other than win? I mean, it is a blemish on our record that our one losses against the Jets, who couldn't beat Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders last night on Sunday Night Football. How that still was a Sunday Night Football game, I don't know. But man, that's brutal that we had to lose to that Jets team. And there's another team that's a fraud, the Jets. And I know that calling them the frauds after losing Aaron Rodgers is tough. But man, there have been stretches of games this year where the Jets defense is so unstoppable that it doesn't matter how bad your quarterback play is. And then they go out there and lose to an awful Raiders team that was already given up on the season and fired everybody. Like that is brutal. I will give a little brutalness to the Eagles for losing that Jets game. We should be 9-0 right now. It's all good. Always underdogs and hungry dogs run faster. I love it, but sometimes there's disrespect in it for sure. The Bengals dropped a touchdown pass, and that cost them the game. Yeah, they dropped it. So you can't make excuse. I hate when people make excuses for this drop or everybody makes excuses for Justin Herbert, and they're great, but Justin Herbert just doesn't have a team around him. I got into it in mind. Shane Half was here on Friday. Shane Half put out a tweet yesterday in support of Justin Herbert. Well, Justin Herbert is the most unclutched quarterback in football. The guy just doesn't win football games. Plain and simple. Sharp had the Ravens as the best team in the NFL last week, and it's not even close. They respond by losing the Browns. And look, the Browns have a really, really damn good defense. I think they're rated, at least going into the week, the number one defense in football. But yet Deshaun Watson is just atrocious, man. He's just not a good quarterback. And whoever's calling the plays in Cleveland doesn't know what they're doing. I know they lost Chubb for the season, but man, the Browns, man, the Browns and the Jets are two teams that have got great defenses but terrible offenses, and we'll see how far it goes if they even make the playoffs or not. Those teams, but man, it's pretty bad, pretty bad. It's going to be a hard game. If we change our defensive schemes, we can win this game against the Chiefs. Yeah, we got a long way to go about thinking whether we're going to win this game or not. My emotions over the next 7 days are going to go high and low so quickly. It sucks that we don't get a game till Monday next week. Phil's pickled pig feet party. You're just throwing every word in that you think's going to trigger me there into one line. What is up, K? What are we doing this beautiful Monday morning? Everybody, make sure you're hitting that like button and subscribe button. Lots of good things with dill flavor. Yeah, I said it. There is. I make a damn good dill pickle pizza at my shop, man. Pickles are good, man. I love it. I like my pickles like I like my own line, big and girthy. Yeah, I did not say that. That is not a quote from me. Not at all. Justin Herbert is allergic to winning the big games. Exactly. Yet I get so much crap for saying that. Marshawn, whenever I put that out there in social media, dude, I get demolished. But there's plenty, like, all I got to do is say, look at the results. Like, there's no argument against the results. Oh, but the defense gave it up, or their injuries, or the wide receiver stink, or the play calling stink. Dude, Justin Herbert puts up a lot of hollow, shallow stats that mean nothing. What is up, Joe? How you doing? Cowboys smelling themselves again. Absolutely. Absolutely. You see the face on Dak Prescott on the sideline, laughing it up with Mike McCarthy yesterday late in the game. Like he just won the damn MVP of the Super Bowl, man. Yet all you did was beat the Giants in week 10 with a starting quarterback that doesn't belong in the XFL, let alone the NFL. And that is not a knock on Tommy DeVito. I felt bad. His parents, I guess his brother, were there in the crowd, and he was getting trucked nonstop. And I turned after the Sixers game ended. It was the end of the game. I turned it on. There's 2 minutes in the game left, and he's still trying to score. And dude, he's getting hit and hit and hit. And I can't believe he stayed in the game at the end. He looked like he was hurt. He was holding his head. His shoulder was hanging off his arm. Yet he stayed in there. Give the kid credit. But man, the Cowboys, man, proud of you guys beating that team there. It is. HC knows. HC knows what. Phil's pickle. Oh, I see his last comment there. Yeah. The coaching staff need to massage the play calling to work out the kinks for Deshaun Watson. I'll go see the HR. Yeah, I'm the HR director. You can come see me about that comment. I didn't know where that comment was going. I just started reading it. And I'm like, what's he talking about? Then I saw Deshaun Watson's name. I was like, oh, yeah, that. What in the world did I miss? What, did you check out for the weekend? We're overreacting today to the Eagles being the best team in football, the Sixers being the best team in the NBA. Hell, the Flyers won back-to-back games this weekend. We're overreacting to it all. I do want to give thoughts and prayers to the Roman Czechmanic family, to the older Flyers fans. He was the Flyers goalie in 2000 through 2003. Passed away this weekend at the age of 52. He was supposed to be the next big goalie in Philly here that was going to turn this franchise around. Had some great moments. Unfortunately, he passed away this weekend. And again, like I said, shout out to Kelly Oubre. Prayers with you. Hope you feel better quickly and soon. Yeah, I went to an all pickle party. It wasn't an all pickle party. It was the biggest pickle party festival in the country, maybe the world. Oh man, we are talking girth of our dip. No. We're definitely not talking about that. A literal pickle party. Google it. Google me. You'll find out it was a big deal. It was a big deal. Issue is they make these predictions include teams that choke when it matters. It's hilarious. Yeah, I want teams that come up big in the big moments. Maybe I was a fraud. I put the Ravens number 2 behind the Eagles last week in the power rankings that I do because I was buying into the Ravens. Yet they go up against an NFC, AFC. Like they beat the 2 NFC teams, the Lions and the Seahawks, pretty badly. But then they're losing to the AFC teams. So who knows if the Ravens even can get out of the AFC? In my mind, this is not an overreaction. Right now, November 13th, Monday morning, the start of Week 11 in the NFL. Oh, no, it's the end of Week 10 in the NFL. The Eagles versus the Chiefs. This is not an overreaction. The Eagles versus the Chiefs have to be predicted to be the Super Bowl team. No other team has come even close to winning the games when they matter the most like those two teams. Everyone else has proven to be a slight fraud at some moment this year. The Eagles and the Chiefs just are not that team, are not the frauds. I don't do pickle. Phil loves a Rocky Mountain oysters. I love oysters. I don't know what you mean by Rocky Mountain oysters. Kelly Oubre getting hit by a car is the most Sixers thing ever. I mean, yeah, coming off of a huge win in Detroit, and you're getting ready for Indy on Sunday. All eyes on you because the Eagles are on the bye week. And then the news you wake up to Sunday morning is Kelly Oubre being hit by a car. And you're like, what? Like, how does that happen? But luckily, we've got guys like Nico Batum, which we got to come up with a good. He's got to replace the Bang Bang George Niang. We got to come up with a really great Nicholas Batum nickname for Kate Scott, which I saw a lot of Kate Scott hate going around on social media on Sunday. And I don't get it. I'm a Kate Scott Abnabi fan. I love that duo. I think they do really great. Philly fam, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for sure. A pickle party. Some things you keep. Dude, guys, you guys just don't get it. You don't. I wouldn't have brought up the pickle party if I realized how little you guys were gonna have fun with that one. Ravens are frauds. Faux show. Yeah, I think that I want to talk overreactions, but I almost feel like the overreaction and who are the frauds in the NFL that the Eagles have to compete with are some of the biggest conversation points right now. I mean, there are literally far too many average teams in the NFL right now. Far too many. 19 of 32 teams have 4, 5, or 6 wins. That's insane. We're not in week 3. We are in the end of week 10 right now. You are what you are. There's a lot of average in the NFL right now. I think it will be a 3-point game again. Next Monday night, Um, 3-point game with a different team coming out on point. I want to say this, and this is the first piece of Eagles Chiefs conversation I'll have for real. Winning against the Chiefs next Monday night is not revenge for losing in the Super Bowl. It means nothing about the Super. I don't believe people always talk about that, like get revenge for getting beat. Like the 49ers can't wait to get revenge on us for beating them in the championship game last year. Like, no, that was last year. This year's different. So there is no revenge factor for me against the Chiefs on Monday night. A win's a win, and if it's a loss, it's a loss. It means nothing compared to last year. Different teams, different style, different everything, different season. So I just want to put that out there that there's no revenge factor in my mind on Monday night. Fultz for getting to shoot after being a bucket in college, trading bridges after the team has a need for a wing player, and missed out on Tatum the year before. List of Sixers being Sixers moments. I don't know. And then Kelly Oubre comes out of nowhere and, like one of the leading scorers in the league, gets hit by a car. We can't have nice things. We just can't. It's plain and simple. I needed a nice brine finish on my oysters. I love oysters. Oh, Rocky Mountain Bullnuts. I had no idea. Woo! Right. I like real oysters, regular oysters. Love them. I like the vegetable pickle, booze, chips, dips, jerky, just to start. Um, Cowboys are the greatest fraud. There's a long time achievement for them. Yeah, they're going to get the lifetime achievement award for being the biggest frauds because they beat the Giants 49-17. Oh man, they beat Hall of Famer Tommy DeVito. Very likely Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl. It's got if you bet, like you could go on FanDuel or DraftKings or wherever, and you could bet on who you think the two teams are going to be in the Super Bowl. And if you're betting any two teams other than the Eagles and the Chiefs, you're donkeying off money. There's there's no I see it. I'm not caught up in the comments, but Kyle, I see your comment on my side screen here. I strongly disagree with it. I'm gonna skip all these comments to get to this. Absolutely not. Absolutely, K1. Absolutely not. You must have been getting some really crappy oysters wherever you're at. Oh man, no way. This is. I've been in a good mood this morning. I'm talking Eagles. I'm talking Sixers. I haven't even mentioned the Phillies yet. The Flyers have even been brought up today. And you're going to throw some slander like that into my timeline? Ah, Kyle, I know it was Veterans Day and the Marine Corps birthday last week, but man, you guys are so far off base on that one there. So far off base. Marshawn, Ben Simmons passing up an open dunk. Kawhi's 4 bounce. Andrew Bynum messing up his knee bowling. JJ Redick making 20 minutes. Man, you're just not going to stop with all the mistakes, man. Um, man, that's a totally Philly Sixers thing. But this is a totally different Sixers team right now. When last time same teams repeat? It doesn't happen often, but it's happened. I'm sure of it. Embiid putting in work all over. He is. Sixers team looks so different. Hit not just a hit by a car, a hit and run. I know. Seriously. I mean, supposedly from what I'm reading, this stuff happens in Philly all the time. Like I know Philly's not the safest of cities in the country, but supposedly hit and runs to pedestrians happen a lot in Philly. I have no idea. I have no clue at that, but supposedly that's a case, and supposedly that's something that's pretty regular. But all these things that Marshawn's saying about the Sixers, all the bad things that have happened, this is a far from that team. This is a totally different team feeling vibe. Bayer could be the difference in the game versus the Chiefs. I hope after the bye he's fully integrated into the defense. I hope Brandon Robbie's back. I hope this defense is ready to go for sure. Kyle, they are both great, but no. Yeah, I'm not a clam fan. For something about clams. I don't like clams. Maybe I've never had good one. I don't know. Come to the clam fam. Uh, that's not funny. My worst oysters were ironically in Philly. I can tell you about some bad oysters I've had for sure. Clams are good. I like oysters. I love mussels. Good mussels in a good red sauce or a white wine sauce. Um, yeah, there's no hate here today. The only hate we're throwing is to the people that think Dallas are Super Bowl contenders and Dak Prescott's the MVP favorite because they beat the Giants. That's the only slander on this show. That is it. Imagine beating Oscar-nominated actor Tommy DeVito in a football game and claiming you're going to be the Super Bowl favorites now. I mean, imagine that. I mean, we're bouncing back and forth between basketball and football here, trying to keep up, and clams and pickles and oysters and everything else. It's not any more than any other major city. Let's see. Mussels are for my class. Clams are bougie. Oysters are for upper class. And I treat there's a place down the street from me here in West Grove that does buck-a-shuck oysters once a month. Man, getting a dozen oysters for a buck a piece. Man, they're so good. Fresh with a little bit of, I don't know what you guys like to put, a little bit of horseradish, a little bit of lemon juice. That's all you need. And oh man, I get all into them, man. I can do a dozen, no problem. Did you see Dallas take out their frustrations on the New York Giants? Yeah, the parts of the game that didn't interfere with the Sixers game. Yes, I watched it, and those Dallas Cowboys looked like Super Bowl contenders yesterday for sure, without a doubt. That 6-3 team there, man, so good because you just think about this. They're 6-3, but two of their wins come against the New York Giants. So outside the New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys are 4-3 in the NFL right now. Yeah, great. Let's put them front. Okay, that's the thing. I saw it, on Sports Center's Twitter page this morning. They put out their main graphic was the Cowboys' numbers against the Giants twice this year. Let's promote that. Let's talk about it. It's a load of horse crap. Plain and simple. Load of horse crap that the Dallas Cowboys are going to get all the hype this week. And I don't care that hungry dogs run faster and this and that. No, I want respect on my Eagles. I want respect on my Sixers. I want respect on my Philly teams. And I think it's disrespectful that they're getting no respect after all this time. This is not a one-hit wonder. This is not their first time doing it. Once Bayer gets comfortable, he is going to be the help we needed. I think it's part of him getting comfortable, Davon, but I also think it's some of the other injuries, bringing Robbie back in the slot, so you have three viable cornerbacks out there. It's getting Reed Blankenship 100% healthy. He's been up and down, but he's also had injuries multiple times this year. Hopefully the bye week has gotten this team healthy. Hell, hopefully the bye week got Jalen. I think something that we're not going to spend enough time about this week is talking about hoping that Jalen Hurts' knee is 100% after a week off, or as close as it can be. It's going to make a joke about oysters and Phil's pickle, but yeah, well, I think that was a joke enough. Ha ha ha! You're just so you guys love all the random conversations I bring to the table here at Trending in the AM. They just beat on them because they couldn't win over us. Yeah, I mean, poor guys, poor Cowboys. Why to them? Does your pizza shop have a pickle pizza? We got two different pickle pizzas. I do a dill pickle pizza, and then I do a second one with bacon on it. That's actually pretty banging. Bacon on your pickle pizza. Yeah, man, we do it, and it's damn good, Peanut. And ever since I thought I kind of brought the pickle pizza late to the party, but man, it still sells. People still love their pickles on their pizzas. At least 90%, it would be great. Yeah, just a little bit of respect. Just throw a little bit of respect our way. And another thing, I do pickle breadsticks. So I do like my garlic breadsticks. I put pickles and dill and cheese on top. They're really good as well. Look, I just want this team to be respected. I want this city to get the respect it deserves. And I mean, you look at what's going to be talked about, not just with the Cowboys today. I guarantee this. The first thing talked about today on every national channel, every national YouTube channel or TV channel, it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys, of course. Then the next conversation is going to be, look, the San Francisco 49ers are back because Brock Purdy and company smoked the Jags. Well, the Jags might just be frauds. I brought up the frauds for the Jags yesterday, and someone said something seems off with Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. Like, that's going to be conversation number 2. Conversation number 3 will be the Los Angeles Clippers. How much longer do they need to get, everybody on the same page with James Harden? Not that James Harden's 0-4 and looks like he's already checked out of LA. No, the conversations are always going to be the wrong conversations on the national media channels. And I just want 1 week, 1 day, 1 moment to be a respected for the Philadelphia sports teams to be respected. That's all I want. Just give them respect 1 time, please. I mean, this Philadelphia sports team, their city, and area is red hot right now, and can't get anything. Can't get any momentum. Can't get any confidence from anybody out there. Part of it is because of the clickbait. Part of it. Part of it's because people just don't want to see us do well. All the pickle and oyster talk is concerning HR. Yeah, I would think all the pickle and oyster talk would concern HR. Um, Marshawn, on a side note, when I first got to college and I first settled, like once I changed majors 47 times and settled on my major, and I was thinking about what direction I wanted to take with my major, which was hotel restaurant management. I was I was like, should I go into HR? Should I be like a hotel or a major restaurant company's HR manager? And then I thought about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not professional enough to be an HR guy. I don't think I would make it in HR. Remember before the season when the AFC was the dominant conference? Well, let's take a look at that dominant conference right there. Let's pull up the standings in the NFL. We'll go conference by conference. Let's just say this: that there is, wow, 13 of the teams in the NFC or the AFC have 4 wins to 7 wins. Like, it's all just a bunch of average. You got the 2 7-win teams, the Chiefs and the Ravens. Then you got the Jags, Dolphins, Steelers, Browns, all at 6 wins. Texans, Bengals, Bills, Colts, Raiders at 5. The Raiders have 5 wins. The Colts have 5 wins. That's how average the AFC is. Hell, the 3 and 6 Titans are not out of the playoff hunt. That's how average the AFC is. Like, it's pathetic. What is up, Drew? How you doing? Good to see you, my man. Teddy Bruschi said on ESPN that he learned absolutely nothing about the Cowboys' win. Well, good. It's about time somebody said something like that because they beat a team that doesn't belong in the NFL. And no offense to the Giants, man, but that team is. I thought when they hired Brian Dabble, they were going to start turning that team around. That team looks atrocious. And yeah, they made the playoffs. He was coach of the year, but they were not good down the stretch last year. I saw somebody say that they're 3 and or 5-14 or something like that in their last so many regular season games. They're bad. Daniel Jones is bad. Tommy DeVito's even worse. The offensive line stinks. They can't find a wide receiver to save their life. The Giants are atrocious beyond belief. And the Cowboys beat them by 40. Twice. Who cares? Imagine if the Sixers would have traded Maxey and draft picks for Dame Lillard. Would have, oh my God. So, Mister, I put this tweet out there last night after the Sixers game, and I didn't even think of this part of it, the Dame Lillard end of it. There were people last year that wanted the Sixers to trade Tyrese Maxey for Bradley Beal to pair Beal with Harden. There were people that wanted to trade Tyrese Maxey for Zach LaVine. Now we're talking about trading like randos for Zach LaVine. Like Tyrese Maxey missed a, it's not quite, but it's borderline. When we talk about the ascension of Jalen Hurts from 2021 to 2022, what we're seeing from Tyrese Maxey development-wise, hell, not just offensively, and yeah, the blocks are fun, but just in general, his defense has improved leaps. About a kid his size, he's just 23 years old. He just turned 23. A kid his size, Tyrese Maxey. What's he, 6'1"? I think he's listed 6'2", but he's probably not 6'2". Kid his size should be so overmatched defensively, but yet he keeps people in front of him. The ascension of Tyrese Maxey is borderline as amazing as the ascension of Jalen Hurts. Like, Tyrese Maxey went from a guy that could be a star player to a guy that is a star player, is one of the best players in the NBA, is an all-star candidate, is an all-pro candidate at this point. It's amazing to see. Serving prairie oysters and pickled pig's feet, such weird pizza shop menu. I don't have that stuff on my pizza shop menu. Not at all. But really, I mean, we spend so much time talking about Jalen Hurts' ascension. But man, Tyrese Maxey, the same. Look, the whole team. I mean, you just look. Everybody talks about what the Nick Nurse effect was going to be on this Sixers team with the young guys, the Springers of the world, the Paul Reeds of the world. The Nick Nurse effect on Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. We don't need a third star. I don't want a third star. This team, as constructed, is the best team in the NBA right now. Uh, maybe. Maybe you gotta give Denver Nuggets some credit, obviously. Hate to do it, but I guess you kind of got to. They're the best team in the Eastern Conference. They match up with everybody. They're deeper. They've got 12 guys when Kelly Oubre's back that they can run out on any given day and have effect. And that doesn't even count. I mean, honestly, they've probably got more than 12 guys. Let me pull this up because they had 11 guys, I believe, play last night. They had 10 guys play last night. 11 would be Oubre. Nope, nope, no. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong team. 11 would be Oubre, and they're barely playing Springer, Morris, or Martin. They literally got 14 guys that they could play right now. Joel Embiid thought he was going to play more minutes. He's playing less minutes because the team around him is playing so much better. What Nick Nurse effect has had on this Sixers organization and this fan base? So we were all checked out. We're not checked out anymore. And it took, 2 weeks to get us all 100% bought back in on the Sixers team. It's great. Today will be forever known as the pickle episode. Yeah, we had the pickle game for the Eagles. This is the pickle episode of Trending in the AM. You know what? I got a little 5-hour energy shot of pickle juice. I wish I would have brought it in. I would have done a pickle shot right here on the air. Harden must be scratching his beard. If you're scratching your beard, that means you're not washing it properly. You can get dandruff in your beard just like anything else. Look, it's exciting to see how bad the Clippers, like all of these people, as soon as the trade happened, all the ESPNs of the world, SportsCenter, all these graphics put together. Who's going to stop this trio of Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard? And yes, it takes time to integrate somebody like James Harden into a system. But man, they're 0-4. They're so bad. So bad. So bad. What is up, Mitchie Poo? How you doing? We're having fun today, Mitchie Poo. We're overreacting to how great the Sixers are, how great the Eagles are, how average the rest of the league in the NFL is. We're overreacting to whatever you want to overreact to. We're overreacting to oysters are greater than clams. That pickle juice is okay. We got it all on the table today, Mitchie Poo. We do. Think about this, guys, with Tyrese Maxey. We'll get back to the Eagles and football in a minute here. Think about this. Doc Rivers had Tyrese Maxey coming off the bench less than a year ago. It was like midway point of last year, and he was experimenting with Tyrese Maxey, the bench player. Just let that sink in for a second. He was a bench kid last year. They tried trading him for Bradley Beal. They tried doing everything to not. We talk about how the league, the NFL, is trying to hold back Jalen Hurts from being the face of the league. But he's the face of the Eagles, and there's no doubt about it. Tyrese Maxey, the Sixers organization themselves tried to hold Tyrese Maxey back. And look how that's going for them. Look at anybody that even remotely in that Sixers front office that even remotely discussed trading Tyrese Maxey should just be fired right now. Just get rid of him right now. Phoenix Suns are tough when Booker and Beal come back from injury. Booker's been gone. Beal just came back. Look, they've got a great threesome right there in Booker, Beal, and Durant, but you got to keep them healthy. Beal's injury prone at this point. Durant misses time. Booker, they're never going to be able to get into a rhythm as a trio in Phoenix because one or two of them are always going to be hurt. They're still going to be a good team, but the West is deep. Muscala hitting a three for the one Thunder in the bubble gifted us the 21st pick. Then the NCAA tournament was canceled. The Miami picks Precious Achiuwa ahead of the Sixers. Maxey draft is an act of God. All the bad that we've talked about, that all kind of lined up like exactly perfect for us. You hit this. I saw somebody else tweeting that out yesterday. Thank Mike Muscala for Tyrese Maxey. And it took me a few minutes last night to remember why. But this pretty much sums it up right here. Elton Brand survives everything. Elton Brand. Oh, man. Elton Brand, man. Just, I don't even know what to do with the Sixers front office. I'm so hyped about this Sixers team and how well they're playing, but yet I can't get excited about the front. The front office put this team together despite the front office. Does that make sense? Like, like they got rid of James Harden despite what they wanted for James Harden. They got this team. They wanted other star players, but Tyrese Maxey said, "Nah, I'm the star player." Like everything is going opposite of what Daryl Morey and Elton Brand wanted with this team, and it's working out. And to think that according to NBA analysis, Embiid was going to want out of Philly because of the lack of talent. Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. I said it. Everybody was pushing that Knicks narrative that Joel Embiid was going to the Knicks for 2 first-round picks and Julius Randle, basically. Get that crap out of here. No way. 6-game winning run. A 6-game winning run. Huh? The Eagles? Or I don't know what the 6-game winning run is. Um, Rookie Maxey scored 18 points off the bench to win us Game 6 against the Hawks. Glenn responds by playing George Hill more minutes than Maxey in Game 7. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. When is the last time the Sixers have gotten to such a great start? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when the last time they were off to this hot of a start. Well, hold on. There have been good starts to the seasons in the past. They ended that one season winning 18 in a row to end the season. But I don't know. There, it's not just that they got off to this great start. It's the energy. It's the positivity. It's the narrative around this team here in Philly. This is not your average Doc Rivers or Brett Brown led Sixers team. There's no James Harden, Ben Simmons drama on this team. 10-0 in 2001. I know we had at least one. I thought we had a decent start one year early in the process. Maybe it was only like a few games that we won in a row. Um, but man, it's not just the wins. It's the vibe that's coming off the Sixers team. It's like the Eagles vibe has carried over to the Wells Fargo Center, and the Sixers are like, we're not gonna be let out of let left let bleh. We're not gonna let the Eagles be the only team having fun, winning and having fun. The Sixers have won plenty of games over the last couple of years. They just haven't had fun doing it. Sixers have having fun. I haven't seen Joel, and I know they haven't lost since game one. I haven't seen sulky Joel Embiid once yet this year. His energy has stayed up, even when his teammates like other times. If somebody else is the hot hand and he's not getting the buckets, you see him sulk when he's not part of the offense. Now he's engaged in everything. He was so happy after the game when Nick Nurse addressed Tyrese Maxey after the game and gave him the game ball for the 50 points. And he was so happy for Tyrese Maxey, and you love to see it. You love to see it. There's a different vibe around this team. I love Jalen Brunson since the Nova days, but he's not better than Maxey. That's painful for me to say. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Tyrese Maxey's just got a little bit. He's got a little bit of that Mamba mentality, at least in the offseason where he worked his damn tail off to become a better basketball player. Anyone like college basketball? I don't really get into college basketball anymore, Mad Chatter. I think all the college sports in general, all the conferences changing, the rivalries changing. Back when the Big East was actually the Big East and actually mattered, I used to watch it a lot, but college basketball does nothing for me anymore. Shout out to Cal Peterson, only plays against the Kings and gets the win in LA. MCW having the greatest rookie debut in Sixers history. Yeah, dude, that was just the anniversary that happened a few weeks ago. I shared that post on Facebook on Twitter of my Facebook memory. I was saying Drew who because I was so glad we moved on from Drew Holiday for MCW. Dude, I was all hyped up about Michael Carter Williams. I thought Michael Carter Williams was going to be the savior of the Sixers franchise. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was a lot of Sixers fans wrong on Michael Carter Williams. Cowboys were a 17-point favorite going to the Giants game. That was too juicy to resist. Vegas is the proverbial snake oil salesman. What, you bet the Giants plus 17? Man, that's tough. That's tough. Look, that just tells you how bad this Giants team was. That they were. How often do you see 17-point lines? Period in the NFL. Very rarely, if ever. That has to be one of the biggest of the last couple of years. That's how bad the Giants were. So I don't want to hear the Cowboys fans hyping themselves up because they beat the Giants 49-17. You should have won 49-17. Hell, you should have won 49-0. The fact that you let Tommy DeVito score it all on you is a crime. So the Cowboys fans cannot be excited about a damn thing. Well, it's the big show. Syracuse is in what? I have no idea. It's been so long. Your Flyers. We've mentioned the Flyers like 3 times so far, K1. Maybe before you got here. Maybe this Sixers T. Um, uh, uh, this Sixers this. I don't know what you're saying there, Philly legend. Clean it up, and I'll get it back up on the screen. Uh, to be honest, Peterson got bailed out by the team. 25 block shots in the LA game. True that. Look, I'm waiting to see what Philly legend met. This Sixers team, I guess it's a great team. This Sixers team will. I don't know. I'm piecing together 3 different comments, Philly legend, but we're having fun, so I don't care. The Sixers team is special, and they got a tough road this week. They got the Pacers again on Tuesday, and then they got Boston back-to-back games Tuesday and Wednesday. We're working on having Justin Crosby every single Wednesday now on the show for 15 to 20 minutes to talk Sixers. You guys love you some Justin Crosby. We're trying to make that a regular weekly segment. Justin Crosby, if you got a name for Justin Crosby's 15-minute Sixers segment every week on this show, hit me up with it. But the Sixers team is special. Struggling. Something like that. What a bad luck situation for Kelly Oubre. Man, it's not just bad luck. I mean, it's so scary. If you didn't read that news happening when it happened, or when you woke up, like me, I turn my phone off around 9:30, 10 o'clock most nights. I stay off of social media. But man, when I woke up, I learned about it in the morning. That's scary, man. Could you imagine anybody getting the text message Oubre just got hit by a car? Could you imagine Wojciechowski having to break that Woj bomb? An NBA player just got hit by a car. Could you imagine? This Sixers team will have Embiid looking prestige in the playoffs. You know what? It's not just that Joel hasn't soaked yet this year. Like, he looks healthy. He looks better shape. He doesn't look as winded. Like, when he flops to the ground, purposely or not purposely, I don't feel like he's falling hard, and I'm not worried about him getting hurt. Like, I feel just better in general about this team. And it's got to be partly the Nick Nurse effect, if not a lot of it. Apparently, Eagles tried to trade for Surtain to block him from going to the Niners Howie season. Yeah, we were never getting Patrick Surtain, Marshawn. At his age, Patrick Surtain, what it would have cost to get him, you're looking at Jalen Ramsey-esque trade times 5. There's no way we were going to get that done. Howie wasn't going to give up 2 first-rounders and a second-rounder and a player or 2. It just wasn't going to happen. Honestly, this is a different Sixers. Anything less than 2-0 against the Pacers and Celtics is unacceptable. That's fair. I disagree. If you get one of those 2 games, it's tough to win those back-to-backs against the Pacers, home and homes or whatever they are. So odds are there's a good chance we lose the Pacers. They're a good team. The Celtics are a good team, obviously. If we could take one of those 2 games, I'll be very happy with it. I'd prefer it to be the Celtics game, honestly. I don't care if they lose to the Pacers, because nobody in the NBA is going to care if the Sixers lose to the Pacers. But if they lose to the Celtics, they're going to get the same old Sixers. So I want to see them beat the Celtics. I liked college basketball when Temple could compete. Temple can't get any top recruits. There's 2 top 10 high school recruits in the area, and they won't consider Temple or Nova. Yeah, Philly college basketball, Mista, has really fallen off. Nova, since Jay Wright retired. Temple hasn't been good in a few years. St. Joe's is not a good team. Hell, the Drexel Dragons haven't been good since Malik Rose went there. LaSalle, do they even have a basketball program anymore? The Philly Big Five is just not what it is anymore. Greetings, reborn soul vibes. Fly, Eagles, fly to you, my man. Fly, Eagles, fly. We're overreacting. Whatever you want to overreact to. Eagles, Sixers, the NFL, the NBA. We're having fun overreacting to everything here this morning. Just looks like he has a better balance this year. Joel, I think that's a good way to phrase what I'm trying to say about him. Like, I was watching the game last night, and he fell to the ground and popped right up. Like every time last year and years past, he would fall to the ground, no matter how hard he like you would think it was the end of the world. Every time he got banged, end of the world. There's just such a different balance this year, mentally and physically with him. There's a different balance with this team. He doesn't feel like he's got to do it all like he has in years past. It's just something really, really different. Not just physically the scoring of the defense. Something mentally different with Joel Embiid this year. It really is. I don't think Howie wanted to trade for him. He was just trying to drive the price up. All right, maybe, maybe there's something to that. But I don't think any team would have matched what Denver's price was even before he drove it up. You're looking at least 2 firsts and a second for that kid, and a lot of money because you're going to have to pay him, whether this year or next year, whenever his rookie deal is up for an extension. But I don't think it was a realistic thing happening for anybody, honestly. Joel is working on his footwork. He is. He's working on a lot. Joel Embiid's 29 now, and he's still working on getting better, and he's still getting better. This is the first time that he's had a new type of coach bringing something different to the table that's holding him accountable, making him want to be better. It's the first time in his career in Philly there's been no drama on this team. No drama gives you the opportunity to focus on your game, focus on your team, focus on your play. So much changes once the drama goes out the window. And we're seeing that with the Sixers right now. $1 million Stoop 75. What's your favorite suit, $1 million? Maxey will be more valuable to his team than Simmons and Harden ever were. Yeah. And to think Maxey was the trade bait for the longest time. I said he was untouchable, but he was trade bait for everybody else. Now he's the star. Dude, that 50 burger last night, man. To go out there on Sunday when all Eagles fans are watching Sixers because there's no football on. To go out there on a Sunday evening and just drop 50 on a game. Let's not take anything away from the game itself. The Indiana Pacers are a good basketball team. And every time I watch the Pacers, I cry because TJ McConnell's still on them. And who doesn't love TJ McConnell? And Tyrese Halliburton, who could have been had for Ben Simmons. Now, we might not have the current Tyrese Maxey, but Maxey from last year with Halliburton from this year, that's a pretty damn good deal. And I still think about that from time to time. But we are where we are now. And Maxey, I saw somebody saying he's getting to the all-pro NBA, all NBA team level. That's a little premature, but keeps up at this rate for sure. He plays, and I said it at the beginning of the show when we first brought up Maxey. I'll say it again now. When that video clip is caught, and I'm assuming it'll be a GIF on social media really soon. He made a big deep 3-ball, and he just was rocking back to the defensive line, and the camera catches him saying, "God, I'm good." That wasn't like cockiness. That was just a swagger, man. Something special in that swagger. Your favorite soup is gumbo. Gumbo is a little like sex, a little like religion, and a lot like sex. You never know when you're going to get it next. I love gumbo. I make a pretty mean gumbo at the pizza shop. I don't do it that often, maybe once or twice a year, just because it takes a lot of work to make a good gumbo. But you can't go wrong with a good gumbo. And if you know where that quote came from, you're even better. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Embiid doesn't have to carry this team offensively. In years past, just stop Embiid, and it was an easy victory. Now teams have to game plan for Maxey. Not just Maxey. They got a game plan for Maxey. They got a game plan for Tobias Harris. They got a game plan for who's going to come off the bench first. Pat Beverly, skating under the radar. How important what Pat Beverly has done to this team so far. Pat Beverly is bringing something to this team that PJ Tucker was supposed to bring to this team and hasn't or never did. Good stuff, my guy. Enjoy your day. God bless. Yeah, you too, my man. Thanks for checking in. Turn the notifications on. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Talking all things sports. Always. Maxey has been the best young player in Philly sports since Jalen and Carson. Yeah. I said it already, Philly, a legend, that he's having that that Jalen Hurts quick ascension. Thanks, K1. Yes, yes. We'll get to the hard reset in a second. Does the pizza shop have chili? I make chili not every single day. Saturday, I made an Italian chicken vegetable soup. I always have at least one soup. Once the winter, the heart of the winter gets here, I have a soup and a chili, always available. But I make pretty banging chili. If I don't mind saying it. I love chili. I love a good chili. All right, hard reset to make K1 happy here. Y'all watching Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. Make sure you hit that like button. We're up to 14 likes on YouTube, 5 on Facebook. Like, shares, retweets, follows, subscribes. It's all free to do. Please greatly do that. I am Phil Stiefel. This is Philadelphia Sports Network. Jam-packed channel, not just jam-packed show. Jam-packed channel with lots of great content. We're really doing some hard work behind the scenes to grow the YouTube page on Philadelphia Sports Network. So make sure you're subscribed and following with all notifications on. Is it just pizza? My pizza shop is not just pizza. We got everything. Pizza, wings, burger. No burgers. Cheesesteaks, hoagies. You can all come see me anytime you want. I don't have a sponsor. I sponsor myself. Fox's Pizza Den, Kennett Square, PA. Come check us out. Love to have you in. Just say you saw me here on Trend in the AM. No chili burger. No burgers right now. I had burgers. I cut them off the menu, but they're not there. Palate cleanse. Is that what the hard reset is? It's a palate cleanse. Yeah, it just gives everybody a second to catch their breath. Me, I need to catch my breath sometimes here in the morning. What is up, Will Smith? How you doing? How's it going this morning? Catch my dude Phil. There's tons of Bills pregame shows. I'm not catching any Bills man chatter. There's literally zero chance of me ever watching a Bills pregame show. Like, there's no reason for me to do that. Like, I just won't. Sorry. I don't care how great they are. I just ain't doing it. It just ain't happening. But anyway, what we're doing today, as we hard reset here for the final 30 of the show, is we're overreacting. And that's what Overreaction Monday is all about, overreacting. And we are overreacting today about how average the NFL is, which just makes the Eagles going 8-1 that much more special. We're overreacting to the Sixers being on an 8-game winning streak now, Tyrese Maxey taking the league by storm. These things that we're overreacting to aren't even that major overreactions. They're just some actual proof to what we're saying. Modella Beer, please stop with the gold foil wrap. Yeah, I hate that too. Prediction for Eagles Chiefs. I have no idea. We're not going to give predictions until next Monday. But what I will say is what I said at the beginning of the show, Mister, early in the show, is that I don't believe in revenge games. If we beat the Chiefs, that doesn't give me a validated feeling after losing the Super Bowl. And I know people are going to say that. I know 49ers fans are saying that about the Eagles 49ers game. They need revenge. They need validation and whatnot. No. This year is different than last year. It's not a revenge game in my mind. It's just another game this year between the Eagles Chiefs and their rivalry slowly starting to grow. So I just want that's my first early prediction, first early point on the Eagles Chiefs game is that it is not a revenge game. The Eagles can't look at it as a revenge game. The Eagles can't hope that this makes up for the loss. No. I don't expect you to catch Bills pregame. I hope not, because I'm not going to. Phil should do countdown to kickoff. When? I can't do more shows. I already do too many shows. Eagles countdown to kickoff. I can't do anymore, man. So Sam Adams fall variety is limited time crap. I should load it up. We just had a 12-pack of their variety pack. Their winter lager was pretty good this year. Add truffle butter and one Japanese wagyu. I am a pizza shop, man. A small, tiny pizza shop. Ain't adding no wagyu to the menu, man. I got limits to what I can do in my little shop, man. Now at home, I don't have any limits, but at the shop, I got limits, my man. Can't add all that. Can't. So, looking ahead here, looking at this NFL, how average the NFL is, how the channels are going to hype up these average teams to try to create the parity that they want. When in reality, is it an overreaction to just simply say the Eagles are the best team in the NFL and there's no question about it? Why can't other people just say that? Why can't other media members just admit they were wrong? Why can't any other media members just say, yeah, all right, the Eagles are the best. The Cowboys aren't the best team. The Cowboys cannot be favored. Anybody that makes their analytics say that they are. It's just weak. 24-hour Applewood smoked brisket. If I had a way to smoke a brisket at my pizza shop, I would. I don't have a smoker at my pizza shop. And I'm not adding one either because I don't got that kind of money or time or energy, man. Just making pizzas and cheesesteaks every day is massively time consuming. I've got a whole bunch of orders already placed for hoagies today. No time. Can't add more. If anything, I want to add less to my menu than more. Uh, look up the stinger. No, I don't want to educate myself on who's good at Buffalo Bills content creation. I could care less about the Buffalo Bills. I could. I care about the Philadelphia Eagles. I care about the Philadelphia 76ers. Hell, I care about the Philadelphia Flyers. Don't care about the Buffalo Bills. I don't. It doesn't matter to me at all. None. Zero. Zilch. Will I watch tonight's Monday Night Football game? Bills Broncos? I'll turn it on for a few minutes here and there. We'll see what's going on Monday Night Raw. But yeah, I'll turn it on. Do I think the Bills smoke the Broncos tonight? Probably not. Broncos trending slightly in a positive direction. But what's so wrong about the NFL and how average so many good teams? Well, what's so wrong about all these average teams being considered great is the fact that if Denver beats the Broncos tonight, or if the Denver Broncos beat the Bills tonight, they're right in the thick of it too. This unbeatable, unbelievably great Bills team with Stefan Diggs and Josh Allen, they lose tonight, they're a 500 team through 10 weeks. Can we understand how average the NFL is? That Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills, arguably one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL amongst most people, has a chance of losing tonight to fall to 5-5 on the season. And even if they win, all they did was beat the Broncos, who stink. But that's how average the league is. But you still have one team sitting at the top at 8-1, but they can't get any respect. It's a sub sandwich. I don't know what's going on. Up the sub, the stinger. Educate yourself. Oh, I thought you were asking me to sub to some guy, the stinger, on YouTube. You were just talking about Buffalo Bills YouTuber, so I don't know. Sometimes you go off the deep end. Oil and vinegar or mayo on an Italian hoagie. On an Italian, you got to go oil and vinegar. I don't eat Italian hoagies, though, 'cause I think ham is the most overrated meat there is. Now, you get some good capicola, good salami, good prosciutto, but you got to hold the ham. I can't do ham, man. Oh man, yum. Defense making a comeback in the trend. Let's go Birds. Let's go Birds. Let's go Sixers. Let's go Flyers. And don't forget to add a dupe into the end of it for our union. What technique do you use to make your dough? If I ever win the lottery, I'm getting a restaurant-sized pizza oven in my kitchen. Well, I use a standard conveyor belt oven, because it's more convenient. It's also easier to manage. It's also easier to train employees to use it. You get a deck oven or a wood-fired oven, it takes a special type of person to be able to work the oven. The workforce just ain't there right now. So I use a pretty standard conveyor oven. It also helps pump pizzas out faster, and I think it makes a pretty tasty pizza still, even after all these years. The era of the McVay quick offense is catching up. Defenses can counter now. Interesting. Honestly, really looking forward to next Monday's show. Go Birds. I can't wait for next Monday so we can predict the Eagles officially beating the Chiefs. Is there a line on that game yet? I got to look that up real quick. Let me pull up the Eagles here. Let me see if there's a line yet on that game. There might be since the Chiefs already played this week. The Eagles are 2.5-point dogs only against the Chiefs in Kansas City. I know my man Kyle will be there in the comments. Kyle's got tickets to go to the Eagles-Chiefs game. It's going to be a 48 game time temperature. Chiefs are 2.5 points. You get 3 points for being a home team in the odds. So this line tells me on a neutral field, the Eagles would be a half-point favorite of the Chiefs. I like it. I would take 2.5 points and lay a few bucks on it for the Eagles. Sure, why not? Stinker is buffalo chicken plus Philly cheese. So good. How much onion, green pepper, garlic, and olive oil do you add to your steak sauce? Steak sauce. Um, I don't. I don't put any steak sauce. So my cheesesteaks, it's just garlic powder or garlic and salt or garlic salt, black pepper, a little bit of butter. Yeah, onions, green peppers, however you want to build it. I don't do green peppers on my personal cheesesteaks. We've had the cheesesteak. We started the conversation today with pickles and oysters and clams. We're closing the show with cheesesteak talk. I don't do that on my personal cheesesteak. When I make myself a cheesesteak, I go with onions. I go with the yellow banana hot peppers, a little ketchup, a little mayonnaise, lots of American cheese. That's how I like my cheesesteak. That's my way to go with the cheesesteak. And quite frankly, I don't think people use the yellow banana peppers enough on cheesesteaks, pizzas, anything. It's one of the best things you can add to a sandwich or a pizza or anything. Do I know how to grill a goo steak? I don't know what a goo steak is, but I know how to grill a good steak. Um, I didn't do steaks yesterday. I did a pot roast yesterday for dinner at the house. Seared the chuck roast off in the cast iron skillet, dropped it in the crock pot with some red wine, some French onion condensed soup can thingy, and vegetables. Oh, bang, banging pot roast last night with some mashed potatoes and plenty for today for leftovers. You don't have a tomato sauce for your steaks? I mean, you could put your pizza sauce on your steaks, but I don't regularly put the pizza steak, quote unquote. I'm not a big fan of doing it that way. Some people do. I probably only sell once or twice a month that somebody asks for pizza sauce on their steaks. The pizza steak is not a popular seller for me, honestly. Mike Mamula is from Buffalo, New York. Thanks for giving us that godfather of combine workout warriors. Ha! I think we've asked Matt Chatter about him before, and I don't think he knew who he was. Mike Mamula, I always feel bad for. He was actually a better player than we give him credit for. If we didn't draft him where we drafted him, and just you take the draft out of the equation, he was a solid rusher of the quarterback. You know, it is what it is. I prefer to talk about the almost Deion Jordan, being an Eagle, the Lane Johnson year. There was a lot of rumors that the Eagles were going to trade up to get Deion Jordan, but then the Dolphins, I believe, traded up and stole him, and we ended up with Lane Johnson instead. Dodged a big bullet there. Can you imagine if the Eagles never got Lane Johnson? What do you use for mozzarella stick sauce? Oh, well, marinara, like a tomato sauce. Yeah, we have that. We have it. We have mozzarella for our breadsticks. For that, um, for Parmesan chicken or meatball Parmesan sandwiches, we've got a good sauce. I thought you were talking about. I don't know what you were talking about. HC. Honestly, I got lost in the conversation a little bit there. But yeah, we have a marinara sauce. Yeah, I got a little tomato sauce there for that. Depends on what you call it, marinara, tomato, whatever. It's not the fanciest of sauce because we don't make pastas anymore at my shop, so it's a pretty basic sauce, but it's good. It does the job for dipping. Does the job when you have a parm or you want it on a sandwich. Does the job. Mm, man, something stuck right here in my throat, man. I can't get it out. Anyway, overreactions. Back at it here. Final. What? We got 15 minutes left in the show. Final overreactions. I saw something funny on Twitter right before the show, and I haven't even seen. There's probably notifications on my. Yeah, I got 11 notifications on Twitter from sharing this out. My man, Martin Frank from Delaware News Journal gave his overreaction predictions to the second half of the season for the Eagles, and I'm not going to go over all his predictions. He did wins and losses, whatnot for the rest of the season. But then he showed how he got us to the Super Bowl in the article. And then in the article, he put at the end, the Eagles win the Super Bowl because with 4 seconds left in the game, the Eagles are down 4 on the 1 yard line and score the winning touchdown of the Super Bowl with the tush push. Would that not be the ultimate, what? I'm doing it off screen to the NFL for hating on the tush push. It's still the tush push to me. It's not the brotherly shove. It's not the butt crack slap or whatever Peanut calls it. It's the tush push. It'll always be the tush push. Wouldn't it be the ultimate flick off if the Eagles win the Super Bowl as time expires with Jalen Hurts running the tush push? That is an amazing. When I was reading Martin Frank's article, and I saw that ending piece to it, I was like, I love it. Like, I need that to happen now. I need that to be a way any game ends. Yeah, the tush push immediately. With 4 seconds left, Roger Goodell would call down to the field and say the tush push is banned immediately before you run it to end the game. Could you imagine the script? You're saying the script writers. Um, Phil, you need to become an NFL. Like, could you imagine? Like, I didn't come up with this. This is Martin Frank's thing. Could you imagine if that's the way it ended? Like, what would Roger Goodell and the NFL think if and look, and I watched a bunch of football yesterday. I saw teams across the league tried the tush push, and nobody successfully did it. Gardner Minshew couldn't do it, and everybody calls it a rugby scrum. Well, how many times yesterday around the NFL did you see rugby scrum type plays? Much more rugby like than the tush push. You saw guys ganging up on runners, and the offensive linemen keep pushing the runners. That's a rugby scrum. But could you just imagine the way Roger Goodell would react if the winning play of the Super Bowl, as time expired, was the tush push? It's intense to even think that that's a possibility. I bet Lane Johnson likes pickled pig's feet. You guys are freaking nuts. I'm just going to tell you right now, you're nuts, HC. I don't care. Winning is winning. Besides, the tush push didn't win the Super Bowl last year. I'm just joking around, goofing around, Desert Eagle a little bit, having a little fun. The NFL is so anti the tush push that it would be so fitting that it actually won a game, let alone the Super Bowl. As K1 says, Goodell's head would literally explode. He wouldn't be able to be down there to give the trophy to the Eagles because his head literally would explode on the spot. They can't ban it. Everyone is trying it. It's just not working in their favor. Exactly. I think I counted 3 or 4 times yesterday that I saw people try to run it. And guess what? They were over. I will check it, Mr. From an earlier comment. Tush push works for most teams 73% of the time. Works for the Eagles 95% of the time, though. That's the stats on it. That's why they would use it. Look, it works. It's a working play. I hate the tush push fight. I hate the tush push argument. I just thought Martin Frank's prediction or spoiler, because he leaked the script, was a hilarious way to enjoy it, to see it end. Sorry. No, you're all good, Desert Eagle. I love you, man. Thanks for checking in. Hit the like, subscribe. We're here every morning, 8 a.m. for 90 minutes a day, talking whatever's trending in all Philly sports, not just the Eagles. It's nothing but hate from those that deal with it. Yeah, exactly. I got you, man. I get you. I understand, man. I got it. Don't worry. You're good in my book, my man. Andy Reid, that tush push is unstoppable. Time's yours. Clears throat. Love it. Love it. Love it. That's right. If Kansas City had the same success rate, I bet it wouldn't be talked about. It would be talked about as the greatest play. If Dak Prescott successfully ran it, it would be a great play. If Andy Reid and the Chiefs ran it, the greatest play, most ingenious play of all time. But no, it's the Eagles. And that's been kind of like the thread, like the overreaction and predictions and everything else that we've talked about from our Eagles and Sixers, and Flyers, Phillies, Union, all that stuff today. It's about respect too. That's been my biggest overreaction today, is the lack of respect our Eagles get in an NFL where there are 19 teams that are 5, 4, or 6 wins. The most average NFL. And tonight, if the Broncos win, it'll make 20 teams with 4, 5, or 6 wins. Just think of how average the NFL is. I think that's what the league wants. They want average. The league wants average play in the regular season because they want week 16, 17, and 18 to be meaningful for as many teams as possible. And the more average the NFL gets, and I really firmly believe that the NFL wants average play so that the end of the season means something. And that's why they don't give the Eagles any credit for being good. It's a shame. It really is. The rest of the league needs to invest heavily on the O-line and get a quarterback that could squat 600 pounds. Look, it's not just the 600-pound squats. I mean, that's a big part of it. It's the Eagles' offensive line. It's the fact that the Eagles have invested and built their philosophy around their offense and defensive line. You look at some of the games yesterday in the NFL. We could pull the most over the top, lopsided game, the Giants versus the Cowboys. How bad the Giants' offensive line has been for a long time. Yeah, Daniel Jones sucks, but give the kid the benefit of the doubt that he hasn't had a real player blocking for him yet in his career. There is some bad offensive line play on good teams. The Jaguars couldn't protect, Trevor Lawrence. There are a lot of bad offensive line play. Invest in it, and good things will come. You can make a good quarterback a great quarterback with a great offensive line. You can make a bad quarterback average. Tom Brady did the Heine thrust for years in Boston. Yeah, Tom Brady actually had more goal line touchdown runs and first downs on 4th and 1 than people realize. It wasn't the tush push, but the Heine thrust. I love it. Tom Brady's been running it. Well, he was running it for a decade plus successfully. It's pathetic, but Tom Brady's doing it the right way. It comes back to the overreaction. I'm not going to say it, but y'all know what I'm getting at. The NFL doesn't want Jalen Hurts as the face of the league. Plain and simple. And they're going to do everything they can to hold the Eagles back at all times because they don't want Jalen Hurts on the front cover of everything. They don't. It would be hilarious if Denver won tonight. Oh, man. Get. Yeah. It would be funny. It would just prove my point even more that the NFL is so average, like beyond belief average. And it is what it is. But I think that's what they want. They want average in the NFL. Look at the Jets. They trade for a Hall of Fame quarterback, and he takes a massive pay cut, and the front office decided not to protect him. Yeah. You know how they spent the money? They went out and got Randall Cobb and Andrew Lazard and whatnot. Dalvin Cook. All guys that aren't making effect. And still the young ones, the Breece Halls of the world, and the others are the ones that are actually carrying that team, and the defense is carrying the team. If you would have spent that money protecting Aaron Rodgers, maybe Aaron Rodgers would still be playing. Jared Goff looks like an all-pro quarterback behind the Lions' offensive line. But even the Lions are inconsistent this year. They're good, but they're not great. But they are investing in their line. Their running game, their running attack is phenomenal. They got a great young wide receiver in Amon Ross St. Brown. And they've spent time over the last couple of years, multiple first-round picks on offensive linemen. Plug and play a quarterback. There you go. Have a great offensive line, plug and play quarterback, great running game, and a coach that leads. And that's what they got. They're eerily similar in Detroit to the Eagles, maybe like in 2021 right now. Desert Eagle saying commentators were trying the Cowboys badly. They just exposed play competitive teams. Yeah, that's when we start the show on this conversation. The Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl because they beat Tommy DeVito and the Giants by 40 last night or 30 or whatever it was. Dak's an MVP, and the Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl. And that was the front page of SportsCenter this morning, ESPN this morning. Guarantee it's on every media channel. Guarantee it. Bills are tough at home. They are garbage on the road. I'll lay the points tonight. Yeah, I have no feel on the game tonight. Bills are just garbage. Well, the Broncos are garbage. I can't get the ball to the skill players if the quarterback doesn't have time to pass it. Absolutely. Absolutely. The one player you wanted from the Packers if you were the Jets is David. Yeah, maybe. And they go get all the others instead. Lions, low key up there, if not bigger threat than San Francisco. And they're not even 100%. Man. I don't know who's the biggest threat. Maybe that's a topic for tomorrow. Well, we joked about who's the biggest threat in the AFC to the Eagles. Maybe tomorrow will be biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC. I'm writing it down. Desert Eagle. Biggest threat to Eagles. That is tomorrow's kicking off point tomorrow. Biggest threat. I got to use that as the jumping off point tomorrow. I don't know. And we only got 5 minutes left, so I don't know how to even dive into it. Is it the Cowboys, Lions, 49ers? They pull up the NFL standings here in the NFC. Let me just double check conference wise. Lions are number 2 technically in the conference. Niners, Seahawks, maybe doubtful. Vikings are playing okay. Just think about it right now. Teams that are in the playoffs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Saints are in the playoffs right now at 5-5. The Bucks are 4-5, half a game out. Washington's a game out at 4-6. The Falcons at 4-6 are a game out. You know, the Packers and Rams at 3-6 still have a chance. Man, there's so much averages. I don't even know who to consider. I don't. Man, lost my fantasy game this week by .02 points. Good morning, Eric. You want to hear so I'm going up against Zach Chavalello, one of the lead Sixers guys for PSN in the PSN league, and I am down 69.8 points. But they're still giving me a 1% chance of winning. I do have Jerry Jeudy going tonight. So give me a 70-point night from Jerry Jeudy tonight. That's the only way I win this week in fantasy football. Oh, that breaks my heart because there's no way he's scoring 70. I got you, my man, Desert. You tune in tomorrow. We're going to be talking your topic tomorrow. Yeah, condolences. What's better, to lose by .02 points or lose by 70 points? Animosity made me speak. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Dumbest mistake was Will Levis as by QB and starting Hubbard at flew over Robinson. Could have been a blowout upset. Man, that sucks, man. Bye weeks suck, man, for fantasy football. Yeah, and I'm getting killed in fantasy because of bye weeks this week. Mainly Tua. I had a few options at quarterback. I missed out on a bunch of them through the waiver wire. So my final choices were Aiden O'Connell, Kenny Pickett, or Mac Jones to be my quarterback this week. I went Mac Jones, but all three of them stunk anyway. So it is what it is. Eagles, Browns, Lions, Niners, Seahawks. Wow, Drew, man, you're putting the Browns at number 2? Sorry, Drew, I love you, man. You've been with me since the beginning. But you're overbasing the Browns a little bit there. Their defense is great, but Deshaun Watson just stinks, man. He stinks. He stinks. The Browns cannot be number 2, man. They can't. And the Seahawks, man, they just got smoked by the Ravens a few weeks ago, man. I don't know if I could put them up there either. I don't know. Not having the Chiefs in your top 5, that's that's a pretty daunting thing there, man. I gotta disagree with you. Should be 9-1, but you're not 9-1. We'll do a trending in the AM Fantasy Football League next year. Maybe just for shits. Maybe we won't even put money on the line. We'll just have a little fun with it. I'll set that up next year. Since the NFL loves Taylor Swift so much, Jalen Hurts should start a fake relationship with a celebrity. Jalen was seen with the singer last month. Jalen Hurts has got a relationship. He ain't a single man, mister. He's been taken and locked in a long time. But that's what I love about Jalen Hurts. We don't know about his personal life because he keeps that private. And there's nothing better to me than somebody that keeps their personal life private like that. I love it. I tried to type flex, but flew, Phil. I gotcha. Gotcha. Panthers were smart to go from 3-1 to skip over CJ. DJ Moore that year. Man, can you think that Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud, man? CJ Stroud looks great, man. But to the Cowboys content creator that said, and it blew up all over social media, that he would take CJ Stroud over Jalen Hurts, well, you're an idiot. That defense can win them games, but I don't know if it's enough to win them a Super Bowl or beat any of those other teams that I think are better than them. I don't know. Drew, that's that's an overreaction Monday statement, Drew. That's a hot take, Drew. But hold on, I gotta put this back up here. Eagles, Browns, Lions, Seahawks, top 5. Man, Drew, you're on fire with that one this morning. That's crazy. I can't back it though. Travis Taylor is a fake relationship. It might be. I've joked to myself about that. It's all for attention and money. Although everybody in Argentina or wherever she is went crazy when she changed her lyrics to include Travis Kelce this weekend. Browns defense is elite. It is, but their offense is borderline terrible. Hurts has been going out with this he's locked in. He's good. He's locked up his lady, I'm sure. You know, I just love that he keeps it private, man. I don't want to know all about my quarterback's personal life. I don't want to know about who's dating who. I want to know that they're working on their football. I want to know that he's working on getting his knee healthy. I'm writing that down as something else we haven't really spoken about this today or last week much. It's Jalen Hurts' knee. That is going to be a topic we discuss a lot this week, getting ready for the Chiefs. How the bye week helped his knee get better. Who better, CJ or Hurts? It's Jalen Hurts. There is no question. I hope you're joking. I hope you're joking. They beat the Niners with a backup quarterback. Yeah, they did. But they didn't beat Brock Purdy. And even if they did, Brock Purdy is a little overrated. I don't think the Niners are that great. I put it out there yesterday, Drew, on Twitter, that who are the biggest frauds in the NFL, and I could put the Niners in the fraud category. I could put the Browns in the fraud category too. The entire NFL is a fraud. The fact that you didn't have the Chiefs in your top 5, that's where I'm beefing with the most, I guess. But that's just a hot take though. Don't get the serious Hurts or yeah, exactly. Browns offense isn't terrible. It is. It's terrible, man. I've seen some of Deshaun Watson's play this year. Deshaun Watson does not look like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, and he's paid like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Deshaun Watson is not a good quarterback, man. He's not, man. He's just bad. And I know the Chubb injury really affected him. Holy crap, we're already a minute past closing time on this show, and we're still going here. I got to wrap this up, guys. We'll pick up this conversation. I'm going to write Browns and Watson down here to start some notes off for tomorrow. Phil, they only scored 9 points on the worst defense, the Chiefs. Definitely overrated, even though I picked him over Trey Lance, but that ain't saying much. Yeah. Now CJ over Fields, that's his class. Yeah, I can have an argument of CJ Stroud over Justin Fields, but that's it. Who's better, CJ Stroud over Trevor Lawrence? Man, I don't know. Let's start a who name quarterbacks you would take over CJ Stroud. And the list is getting smaller and smaller every week. Browns averaging 24 points per game, my friend. I don't know, man. How many of those points are from from defensive scores and defenses setting up the field? Reality check. You missed the show, man. We got to end it. Bring on the super chats. It doesn't matter. Super chats now or not. I would appreciate super chats. Donations are greatly appreciated. They definitely help massively. But I do got to wrap this show up. I do have 2 catering orders to get in for. CJ Stroud is special. The ball jumps out of his hand. We are going to get into CJ Stroud tomorrow. Some say Seattle better than Philly. That is insane. Got to wrap it up, guys. Cut the comments off right there. Everybody have a great day, a great Monday. We are back. 5 weeks over. Sixers are on top. Eagles are on top. Flyers are pretty good. Let's go. Everybody have a great Monday. This is Trending in the AM on Philadelphia Sports Network. We only got 18 likes on YouTube, 5 on Facebook. If you're watching this on replay, hit those like buttons, share, subscribe buttons, and tune in live daily, 8 a.m. for the best morning show in Philadelphia. I am Phil Stiefel, your host. Make sure you follow me everywhere. Phil, we'll call it the Who Berta Who Berta Than Canyon segment. Yeah, the Who Better Than Stroud segment. I got you on that. All right, everybody. For one person, A-Town down. Everybody have a great day. We'll talk tomorrow. Have a good day and go Birds!